All right, guys, so I want to talk for a minute about Facebook advertising and why I think it's one of the single most underrated and underpriced forms of advertisement or marketing for your business. So it's hard to go into enough detail and enough depth about how much Facebook advertising, paid ads on Facebook, have impacted my business and brought me insane amounts of leads. So those of you who aren't super hip to Facebook advertising is paid ads. So you could pay a designated amount of money to target either a specific demographic of people, a specific location of people, or people based on what they currently like on Facebook. Now, there's a couple reasons why this is so huge and why it has been so impactful towards my business. A long while ago, I was super concerned to get started with Facebook advertising. I just didn't see how Facebook could be a good means of making money, and why would I pay money to show up in somebody's social media channel? It didn't make sense to me. You need to get people's attention, and if you know where it's at, that makes it significantly easier. Look at your day-to-day. How many hours a day do you spend on social media channels? Whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook. Start looking at some of the restaurants that you've been to in your times. Where did you find out about them? The places that you go to get clothing, the people, the music you listen to, all that kind of stuff. Chances are 90% of it has been found through Facebook, whether it's from a friend sharing a post, whether it's from you looking up their Facebook page, and because of the fact that you now have the ability to follow their Facebook page, now stay in touch easier with their stuff, and you spend more money with them because of that. Personally, I'm incredibly addicted to my phone. I'm constantly scrolling on Facebook and on Instagram, and it's one of those things where the majority of the places that I go were found through that. They were found through being on Facebook and finding different places. Back to how I think that this impacts your business and why you should currently spend enough money on it. So right now, big businesses, most businesses out there don't understand how to use Facebook ads. They're still stuck on, traditional marketing, whether that's magazines, whether that's television, whether that's Google AdWords, which are all great forms of advertising. But again, the attention isn't there like it is on Facebook. I don't watch TV ever. I don't read magazines. And if I do, I skip right over the ad. Everything that I find, I search through Facebook. Now, if you have big ticket items, so in my case with my business, my training packages range anywhere from $800 all the way up to almost $4,000 for a training package. So if I get one customer, I can make a very high return on my initial investments. When I first started using Facebook advertising, I started using very low amounts. I would spend $20 on it. I would spend $25 on it. And I remember to this day when I started spending, $50 on it, when that started becoming a huge deal to me. It felt like a lot of money. I had never really given up that much before to something that I didn't know anything about. Then I remember there was one very specific piece of content that changed my viewpoint on it and took me from spending minimal amounts of money to far more amounts of money on it. That was a before and after video of a board and train that I did not very long ago. It was about a year ago. I did a board and train. I took really good content, a nice before and after video of it. I posted on Facebook, and organically it did really well. Posted incredibly well, and I wanted to see what I could do to maximize on it. I did location specific boosted posts on that specific post. I put around $50 on that post, and it exploded. It was one of those things where all sorts of people within a 40-mile range of our facility were now seeing our content. They were seeing what we do, something that otherwise they would never have found us. We were a very small business at the time, and we gained tons and tons of new followers for it. We got tons of calls, we got tons of messages on Facebook, and we wound up selling a handful of training programs specifically to that post. If you do the math on it, if you put $100 on a Facebook post, which gets you around 5,000 views on your post, depending on if it's a picture or a video or what it is. But say you spend $100, say you spend $200, and you get 5,000 people that see your post. If you're creating good content and content that really captures what you're doing or what you're trying to portray to potential customers, if you get one of those 5,000 people that view your stuff to spend even the smallest amount of money, which in our case is a smaller training package around $700 or $800, you've immediately made a huge return on your investment. Now say instead of selling one, you sell two, or you sell three, or you sell four. That makes it far, far, far greater. Your percentage continues to multiply as you sell more packages based on that amount of money that you spent. Now, looking at it from the other side of things, if instead you spend $100 on that post, say you get 50 new followers. So 50 new people like and share, like your page and start following the content that you're posting. Cool. Now you have more people in your network. You paid for people, but because they liked your content enough, they decided to follow you. So instead of them seeing just that one post, now they're seeing multiple posts. Now they're beginning to share that stuff with their friends. And even if they themselves don't spend money with you, maybe a shared post that they do will get one of their friends to, or one of their family members, so on, so on. So if you look at it this way, depending on the ticket numbers of the products that you're selling or the services that you're offering, the options are truly endless to how much money you could make through this and how much it could help move your business forward and grow it. And lastly, this is something that isn't always going to be this way. At some point, more big businesses and more larger corporations are going to pick up on this, and they're going to begin investing more and more money into Facebook, raising the cost of people's attention, and thus making it something that's going to be far more expensive for you to invest in. So this is something that personally with my business, I've doubled down on over the course of the last 6 months. I've invested very, very heavily into Facebook advertising, and I've seen the growth, and I've seen how much it has impacted my business. And that's something I just want to share with everybody and make sure that everybody's understanding and at least to start exploring it a little bit more.